Hi there, thanks for clicking in. I've got an old Pioneer here in red Alox. This is sometimes referred to as the Sturdy Boy, and it's the knife that the 1961 Swiss soldier knife was based on. So it started as the Pioneer in 1957, I think in red Alox like this, later in silver and gold also. Some had key rings and some did not. But it's a basic tool set of the Pioneer or the Soldier, main blade, and on the really early ones, from like 1957 up to like 1974, Victorinox was the tang stamp. Now, I don't know if that was exclusively Victorinox, but you can find Victorinox tang stamps on these during those times. I kind of date these knives two ways. One way is with the tang stamp, Victoria, Switzerland, stainless Ross Fry. There's a thing with the V. So if the V is the same size as all the other letters, that was the tang stamp Victorinox used from like 1952 to like 1986. So then, you know, this Pioneer started in 57. I used the Victorinox tang stamp up until like 74. So you know, maybe 74 to 86 when you're looking at this. Then from 1987 up to 2008, they went with a V that was bigger than all the other letters. So that's just kind of one way to get a date range going. And the other way is with the liners, if you've, or I guess I should say the separator. This knife really doesn't have liners per se because it doesn't need them. You know, the scales, the aluminum scales are sturdy enough to be the whole handle. So you don't need like scales and a liner. But they do have a brass separator, or a separator rather, and if it's brass, then you're probably looking at 1957 up to 1984. After 1984, these separators became nickel silver, and so they have a little different look than steel or aluminum, but they're certainly not brass like this. It's really easy to tell the brass ones. So you know, you can see down here where the key ring attaches, and you can see real obviously here and inside the knife that you've got brass liners. So I always look for them with brass liners in the small V. I just like to buy older knives, and that way I know that my knife is at least, you know, 1984 or older. This one's in pretty good shape. I've had three, and a couple of them, one of them was near perfect. I would say this one would rate as good because the anodization has chipped off of the edges on the back here and a little bit on the front edges and worn a little thin at the tips, you know, where you're going to get your pocket wear. And that's so very typical. But actually the anodization on this one is mostly intact, and it's got a really nice kind of a ruby sheen to it. I don't know if that's going to show up on camera in the right color, but it's got a real nice look in real life. So what else we got here? You know, so main blade, I've had some scratches, and I've done my sharpening, my polishing thing on it. I haven't sharpened it yet, but I will. And what I really look for in a blade is just a nice straight blade. Now do bear in mind, these blades actually do curve a little bit, so they can nestle in next to the other tools, but that's got a nice straight tip to it. Here's your screwdriver cap lifter, and you know, the snap on these Alox models is just fantastic. I love it, and I think that's why so many people just like to collect these. You know, they're just so rugged. All these tools have oil on them, I apologize, but this one is of course the can opener small screwdriver, and I don't think this tool's ever been used, frankly. Whoever owned it before, all the people that owned it before, never opened any cans with it. And then that just leaves us with the sharpened reamer, which is good, full tip, good edge, great snap. So this knife will be for sale on my Etsy shop. And if you'd like to own an older Pioneer, if you don't have a red Alox model yet with the old cross, this is your chance. This is a nice clean one. Mechanically, it's just as sound as the day it was built. Alright, thank you for watching, and have fun collecting.